unethical things, including they were child labor, including scamming creators, including scamming fans by not.
Can we ignore the scamming creators bit for a minute, because I want to talk about that as well.
Sure.
But I want to just focus exactly on child labor and not bring in any other context until we're done with this bit.
Okay, Tubbo, you just said that you know of an instance of this company using child labor.
Yes, I know of a one-off instance.
Okay, Tubbo,
okay,
that's enough for me in this instance. Where how are you disputing what the video is saying?
I know the situation around that incident, and I know it's a separate facility to the ones that you're referencing where Tom's merch was manufactured. But you don't, because you don't have the full context, and you've put it in your video like you do, and you know that no one can legally talk about this. In the CoffeeZilla video, you reference, CoffeeZilla says how no creator can talk about this. And he reached out for comment and no one can comment. And now you have brought this up knowing that no one can defend themselves because no one can talk about it.
Tubbo, defend themselves from what? I'm not... Okay,
from you accusing
Tubbo,
them of using child labor, Dream. What do you mean defend them from what?
Okay, Tubbo, there's multiple claims back to back to back that are made that are... The whole point is this company is bad, right? This company is bad. They have used child labor. They have used... they have exploited fans. They have had not only obviously way more than just that. Even from like, if you've watched CoffeeZilla's video, it's terrible. When I showed, I saw like parts of your stream, and I know obviously this is a very emotional thing for you, so I don't want to, I'm not genuinely.
I'm not emotional about it. It's sorted, okay? I don't want it to be painted as an emotional thing for me. What I am emotional about.
That's not what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I was just saying it looks like you're obviously.
No, I'm heated because I feel like you're not understanding me.
Okay. All right. I'll do my best to understand. And I think this is what I said before. The point of that section of the video was, hey, you insult my merch, right? And you say it has bad designs. While let's look at the merch company. Let's look at your merch. Your merch company had these, all of these ethical problems, including child labor, et cetera, et cetera.
There's a big difference there, though, as well. Because calling someone's merch designs bad is not a crime. Someone using child labor to profit is a crime.
It depends.
What do you mean it depends?
Well, okay, first of all, Tommy, no matter what, did not commit any crimes. Tommy's not on the stand here. This is about
and you didn't say that in the video where you accused his merch of being made by child labor. Why?
What?
You just said Tommy didn't commit any crimes. Therefore, Tommy didn't profit off of child labor. Therefore, why is that in your response video?
Because the critique wasn't of Tommy. The critique, you didn't know that this merch company was going to do all this stuff, right? Like, you had no idea. You thought, okay, whatever. The creators that worked with this company, obviously, none of them were at fault for what happened. Like, all the creators that were even on that page where it showed from CoffeeZilla's video, none of those creators are at fault at all. The critique was a critique on Tommy's critique of me, not a critique of Tommy. It's like, hey, hey, you're saying that my designs are bad. Well, I'd rather, hey, well, let's if you're gonna joke about my stuff, let's joke about what you had going on. That wasn't good.
Okay, joking about you having merch designs and joking that someone uses child labor to profit, which is a crime. Again, very different. Also, you're having this issue with your intent versus your impact. I'm telling you, the wide impact of this clip that you have put on here is blatantly accusing Tom of making his merch with child labor. I've watched the video.
I know that this is like, okay. We both agree that this merch company has used child labor, has exploited fans, maybe we both don't agree on this last one, allegedly has scammed creators. And
no, we do agree on that.
Okay, has scammed creators. And we agree on all of those points. And then you're going, but joking about Tommy working with a company that uses child labor is not okay?
Because it's a crime.
That this company has allegedly committed.
No, it's a crime that Tom has profited off of child labor. And you don't say in your video, oh, I'm sure he didn't know about this. You don't say that this is completely directed at the company. You go straight from Tom talking about your merch to you talking about his. Which is, by definition, defamation.
Tubbo, that is just not remotely true. That's not remotely true. Go my video. It's a satirical point saying, "Hey, Tommy, the merch company that you worked with, I bet you're so glad you went with this company. This company has done child labor, scammed creators, scammed fans." That's the point, and you have agreed with me on every single one of those points. That's why I just don't understand the disconnect. Obviously, it's like I understand what you're saying is that it's frustrating that I painted Tommy in a bad light, right? That's the frustration, right? The frustration is I painted Tommy in a bad light by pointing out that this company that he worked with did these bad things. I never said, therefore TommyInnit needs to get locked up and go to jail. And nobody from my comments, nobody that I've seen has said anything like that or implied that TommyInnit was wrong for having done that. It was just like it's a clap back to his critique.
No, but the thing oh God, I forgot what I was going to say. No, but the thing is, you provided no proof of that. Zero. And you always go on about providing proof.
I think
you always go on about providing evidence, and for this, you provided nothing.
Okay, so I think that I think it's important when you're making allegations generally to provide evidence. I think that's very, in my mind, that's very important, which is why I was so frustrated with Tommy's video and how no screenshots, no examples, no evidence for literally anything that he said. But for this specific claim, with my experience working with outsourcing of merchandise, I did not feel necessary to provide proof that a company that operated out of China and has had issues with child laborers before have used child laborers. I meant to
no
like
sir, look, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have no proof is what I'm saying, and you have just said this and expect me to take your word at face value.
I'm honestly genuinely confused because you said 1 minute ago that this company has used child laborers yourself.
Yes, one instance, okay? Not connected to Tom.
Okay, so
you didn't provide evidence of that one instance.
First of all, I would be surprised if it's just one instance based on what I know, but I will say that
then what do you know?
Even Tubbo, in the case where it's one instance, let's say it's one instance, right? That completely validates everything I said. It's not valid to joke about a company using child labor that used child labor. Oh, no, it was only one instance. They only hired children laborers one time. Like, that's like, come on, you have to give me the benefit of the doubt and realize that this company is a terrible company that has done terrible things. That's the joke.
But I don't even know why you're not understanding me. It is not about this company. It is about your critique of Tom. Like you yourself have said many times, this video is about you and Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're literally you're criticizing Tom's merch company instead of Tom for using child labor. But in this video, which you framed, which is entirely about you and Tom, why the mentioning of the child labor of the merch company, and also the added context of you saying, oh, I do all of my own merch and it's all in-house, it's a family business, and then you're like, this is Tom's merch company. You don't add the context that Tom isn't overly involved in this company. You don't add that context. You don't add that it's a massive distributor. You frame it in the same way that you frame your company as like, oh, it's a little, it's like run by a small group of people. Oh, this is Tom's merch company. Oh, but hidden child labor. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I actually understand that now. That was not something that I was thinking of before. I think that from my framing, in my mind, I guess that was like obvious. Like, obviously there was a lot of, even on CoffeeZilla's video, he's talking about it. There was a ton of creators shown.
But you didn't put the context of CoffeeZilla's video in your video.
Well, I did. I showed like obviously the tower where I edited like Tommy's head on. Like, I showed the tower of creators and everything, and how he said a lot of the biggest creators in the world, and I had him talking about it.
Yeah, but that isn't. Again, you yourself go on about using the full context and explaining everything to make sure that a honest opinion can be formed about a situation, where you yourself just now have removed all of the context of CoffeeZilla's videos. CoffeeZilla's video about it.
I mean, I showed like the intro to CoffeeZilla's video where he says, some of these creators, a lot of the biggest internet creators are involved in this merch company that is involved in a scam, and here, blah blah, they got scammed audience. Here's some, whatever, like that. That's the context provided is like I understand what you're saying now. Before I was more confused, but I understand now. What you're saying is some people could potentially be confused and think that it's Tommy's, like Tommy owned merch company.
But
like,
why would they not think that when you Photoshop his fucking face at the top of the pyramid scheme?
Well, I mean, it wasn't
like you just said you did that yourself.
Well, yeah, I did. It's Mr. First of all, it's edited on top of it. Second of all, Mr. Beast wasn't the owner of this company either, and Mr. Beast was on that picture.
But when that
like those people didn't do anything wrong, like Valkyrie and all them, like they didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't like that wasn't used as to say that, oh, big bad. It's like, hey, Tommy was a part of this company as well. He could have very easily been on that list of people. He was bigger than some of those creators.
But you didn't provide that context. When that graphic comes up in the CoffeeZilla video, it's far into the video where all the context has happened. In your video, it's a one frame showing a pyramid of creators with Tom at the top while talking about a merch company that used child labor, and when talking about Tom's merch manufacturing.
I'll have to see, but I'm pretty sure that's the intro of the video, like the tower. Like I think that's the intro.
No, but the context you don't have is the information about the company that CoffeeZilla has, and he puts that before that graphics.
The first 1 second of the video is that tower. You said that was far into the video. I'm just saying this is the first 1 second of the video.
But like,
that's all right.
Dude, there is still more context in that video that you've left out, and also that tower being spoke about in the context of your video is what the issue is. Like, no one watching CoffeeZilla's video takeaway was Mr. Beast uses child labor to manufacture merch. No one's takeaway was that. Whereas in your video, loads of people's takeaway was TommyInnit uses child labor to manufacture merch. I'm saying why they might think that is you photoshopped his face on the top of the pyramid scheme while removing the context of CoffeeZilla's video. I'm saying
what context I remove of CoffeeZilla's video? That's the same. It's the exact same.
All of the information about the merch company and the receipts of it and the proof.
I'm not gonna include that in my video. Like I'm gonna include a 21-minute video. I said
CoffeeZilla
made a video.
Then you shouldn't bring it up. You yourself say you shouldn't bring things up without the full context. I'm only applying your own rules to you here.
I think that the correct amount of context was applied. What did I need? I said that I didn't say anything inaccurate.
But you
I said
agreed with me a second ago that framing this after talking about your small individually run.
No, where we disagree, I agree with. I now understand where you're coming from, but I disagree that the average person's opinion, or even that a lot of people will go, wow, that's Tommy's merch company, right? We show the way that the clip I do include.
You called it Tommy's merch company. Why would people not take that away and assume it's Tommy's merch company when you call it that yourself?
Well, okay. When I'm using it as two different phrases, like Tommy's merch company versus the merch company that Tommy uses, right?
But you're using it in the same context as when I say my merch company, Dream's merch company, Dream.shop. And then you go, Tommy's merch company. All the bad things Tommy's merch company has done.
That's fair. That's totally fair criticism. I should have said the merch company that Tommy uses. 100%. Now that you've pointed that out, that makes sense to me. I should have said that. I should have said, leave everything else the same. Say the merch company that Tommy uses instead of Tommy's merch company. That's what I meant by Tommy's merch company. The merch company that Tommy uses, Tommy's merch company. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying the framing makes it seem like
isn't even relevant if you have no evidence of Tom using child labor. Why is that relevant?
What?
If you have no evidence of Tom making
merch.
I promise you, I'm the most serious I could be.
Okay,
why is that relevant if there is no evidence of Tom using child labor? Why is that relevant? Unless you have concrete evidence.
You just said 5 minutes ago in this stream that you yourself personally, outside of anything that I know, outside of conversations that I've had, you yourself personally have knowledge of that company using child labor. My point that I made in the video was, well, let's talk about Tommy's merch company. They use child labor, they scam creators, they scammed fans, and that was like, hey, don't throw rocks in a glass house. Essentially, that was the point of that point. We're arguing over whether we're arguing over whether this crappy company has done all these terrible things. Did child labor on everything or did less child labor?
No,
that's what we're arguing over.
No, I'm saying it needs to be honest, man. It needs to be honest.
It's 100. It's completely honest, Tubbo.
Then why did you, if it's completely honest and you can make it completely honest, why not show the proof of Tom's merch being manufactured with child labor, and why not display that truth? And why not?
I feel like
if it's
like
honest,
I'm walking...
you can prove it.
Yeah. So first of all, if you want to, the quote that I said was, unfortunately, or I know that was about the bankrupt. Let me listen to exactly what I said. I'm gonna play it.
You said Tommy worked with the company.
Listen. Okay. Tommy worked with the merch company that had some really cool designs. That actually had some really cool designs, with some very hardworking child laborers to make it possible.
Yeah,
that is 100% fact.
So okay, so you're talking about Tommy's merch designs. Yeah, you're talking about Tommy's merch, and then you go, yeah, his merch wouldn't be possible without these working child laborers. Do you not hear what you're saying? And how is that not a direct accusation of accusing Tom of using child labor to make his merch?
So the company used child labor, but I'll say this, Tubbo. Let's take that same exact framing, right? So in a world where you just said that it made it, that child labor made making Tommy's merch possible, right? So you didn't say that, but you're saying that's what I'm saying. In a world where that one instance that you're referencing, let's ignore the fact that obviously behind the scenes, based on the things that, that's something that Tommy says, but behind the scenes, I have my own reasons for saying what I'm saying. But ignoring that, based on using literally only your own confirmed experiences, if this company profited off of child labor in any instance, which it has based on what you're saying, then that money they made from that helped making everyone else's merch possible no matter what. If it was used in one instance, and that's only based on not even any evidence I would provide, any personal experience of myself, just your own personal experience. So I don't know the inner workings of every single merch drop Tommy has ever done. I'm critiquing this merch company who has done child labor and also scammed fans and creators, and the reason that I know the timings of at least certain drops, and I don't want to go into too much detail for the similar reasons to why you wouldn't want to go into too much detail, is that Tommy was debating joining my merch company. And so I had discussions with Tommy around that time and discussions with that company as well. So I have obviously more information that I don't really want to provide, but that claim is not a claim that's being disputed by this company, right? And this is not a claim that and that you have yourself backed up by saying that the company has used child labor. So I understand what you're saying, but
the difference is I'm not accusing someone of having their merch made using child labor. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, I agree. And my critique, which is a critique of Tommy's critique, is Tommy unfortunately worked with a merch company that was terrible, that used child labor, that scammed fans, did not issue refunds, scammed creators, misused funds, did a lot of stuff. And on top of even more than that, if you watch CoffeeZilla's video, there's a lot even more than that to do with
I've seen the video.
I don't know, like terrible sexual stuff and so on and so forth. And that's the accusation, and those are all completely 100% provable facts. And so I understand how it can be taken, and obviously it's in a joking way, being like, hey Tommy, don't throw stones in a glass house. There's this company's pretty shitty and you're critiquing my merch company for its designs.
I don't understand. What I don't understand is how you cannot see how this is a very serious thing that you've said and accused, and I don't understand how you can't see that it comes across as an accusation of Tom using child labor.
The company that Tommy worked with for merch used child labor, from what I know of, and you have also corroborated that this company has used child labor. Yes, you've said that this was potentially not with Tommy's merchandise, and you've also agreed that this company has scammed fans, also agreed this company has scammed creators. I don't know where our disconnect is. I don't understand.
How do you know this, though? How do you know this? Like, you need to explain.
Tubbo, I explained 5, 6 different times.
Then can you show me? Can you show me the proof?
The proof that the company uses child labor?
Yeah, show the proof.
Okay, and I do not feel... Tubbo, I don't feel the need to show evidence when you yourself, quote, word for word, said that this company has at least in one instance used child labor. But
Yeah.
I did not feel the need. I'll tell you why I did not feel the need to provide evidence to my claim in my video, which I already said, is because this is a common practice, very extreme common practice, and I have personal experiences from the business side of things, behind the scenes, business interactions, that for the same reason I'm sure that you would not want to make certain things public, that I would not want to make public. I did not feel the need to make this information public in order to prove a statement that is just...
Could you not just do it because I'm asking you, though?
I'm sorry?
Could you not just do it because I'm asking you to?
If you'd like to have a conversation off stream about this, I'd be happy to have a conversation.
But I feel like it's important context that needs to be included in your initial video.
Why, Tubbo? Why?
Because in your initial video, you don't, or like your reasoning now is that you have me confirming, yes, that's the case. In your initial video,
I'm saying I don't
have
feel
that. You don't have that. You don't have my input on your initial video.
Yeah. My reasoning for saying that was not based on your input, but your input is helpful in this discussion to say, hey, yeah, okay, great, that's awesome.
But you just said the
I don't
reason
need to
you don't
explain
feel the need
anymore.
to
That's
show
perfect.
it is because I've agreed that it happened.
I'm sorry?
You said the reason you don't need to show the proof is because you agree. You're saying I agreed it happened, but in your original video, I did not agree that it happened. You don't have that second account.
Yeah, no, it's not something that I would be showing regardless, but it is something that I've been obviously explaining the context as to, why I have this very strong belief and why I provided that information in this video. And then I'm saying, hey, you back that up by saying, yes, this company has used child labor at least in one instance. I'm not saying that that was at all in my reasoning for saying that in the video. I'm saying that, great, that backs it up. Obviously, you also cannot say without you're saying, hey, I know for sure this company has used child labor at least in one instance, and I cannot say for sure that they have not used it in other instances, and I cannot say for sure they did not use it for Tommy instances, but
actually,
I would like you to provide proof for a joke that you made about them using child labor.
I have never, okay, first of all, you just said, I have no evidence to prove that they didn't use it for Tom's drop, which is not the case. It's just not, and
so you have evidence to prove that they didn't use it for Tommy's drop?
You know I can't confirm or deny that,
well,
man. See, this is the issue. I don't understand, knowing what you know, why you would put this in the video. This is what I don't understand. If you know as much as you say you know, and you know how everyone is tied up, why, if you don't have unrefutable proof that Tom's merch was made with child labor, why are you bringing that up as a dig at Tom when the video's about him?
So the dig is on Tom for using this company.
Then why are you mentioning child labor if you have no proof Tom used?
Because this company has done child labor. You've said that yourself.
Video is not about the merch company, it's about Tom. Like, we're in agreement when it comes to the merch company.
Okay, so Tommy saying that my designs like suck are about me? No, it's not. It's about the designs and about the merch company. It's the same thing. It's like a critique of his critique, Tommy.
Yeah, but it's
Tubbo.
not.
Oh my god.
It's not.
We're talking about Tommy. Sorry.
Right. Here's the thing. It's not proportional response, man. To accuse someone of a literal crime, and then
that this company they've worked with has confirmed.
He just said your merch designs were bad, and you basically went up and said that his was made with child labor. It's not comparable. I don't know why you can't see that that's not comparable.
Tubbo, I'll walk through my reasoning one more time, and then I think you can say whatever piece you want, whatever you want to say, and then I feel like we move on from this, okay? Because I think we don't have a connect here. But this is my reasoning, and then you can say whatever you want, and then we move on.
Okay.
My reasoning for the way that clip was phrased and how everything went was Tommy. I'm just listening one more time. I said Tommy worked with a merch company that actually had some really cool designs. With some very hardworking child laborers to make it possible. Unfortunately, that company also went bankrupt, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. The reason I made that claim is because this company has factually, based on my experiences, your experiences, other creators' experiences that I talked to, factually used child labor, scammed fans, and scammed creators. So I'm critiquing hey, don't throw rocks in glass houses. You're critiquing my merch company. Let's talk about the merch company that you worked with. And it is in a joking way. It's not meant to be a critique on Tommy. It's meant to be a critique on, hey, it's a clapback. It's saying, hey, you're making. I'd rather have shitty merch designs than allegedly shitty merch designs than work with a company that scammed my fans. Okay. And I obviously made it win out of the way. So that's the reasoning for that. And I think that's fair. But I understand how you may feel differently, especially due to your personal experience with this company.
No, but okay, right? Yes, and yes. But also, Tom saying your merch designs are bad is a matter of opinion. You agree?
Yeah.
You saying Tom's merch company uses child labor is a matter of fact that needs proof and is accusation of a crime.
So you just said that Tommy's merch company, you just said that I claim that Tommy's merch company uses child labor. Has the merch company that Tommy worked with used child labor? One word answer. Yes. They have. Okay,
but
so what?
You need to prove it, man. In a video where you don't have my perception and you don't have me going, yeah, they did, you need to prove that.
So what? Do you feel the same way about everything Tommy said in his video?
What do you mean, do I feel the same?
Well, I'm saying you're saying that because this one claim
Tommy didn't
that because I thought it was so objectively agreed upon amongst creators and everyone behind the scenes that I did not feel the need to provide evidence to it because I was like, no one's going to dispute this. This company sucks and everyone knows this.
In Tom's video, he didn't accuse you of any crimes. Again.
I mean, he accused me of a lot of things. He said I'm a liar. I've lied to him. I've lied to my audience. I've lied to whatever. He said that I'm a sexist. He said that I'm
none of which is a crime and all of which is matters of opinion, which you can debate and talk about.
I think so. I think opinion is an interesting way for like saying like lies and sexist and stuff. I think there is nuance for sure, but I think that.
No, I know, but when you boil it down, it's also weird. You provided evidence for everything which was a matter of opinion, but we get to an actual crime and you don't provide any evidence. Why?
I mean, I explained why I didn't feel the need to provide any evidence for this particular thing, but it's not.
You're assuming your 32 million subscribers all have this context.
No,
which
but
I guarantee you they don't.
I have this context, as do the creators that I'm talking to. They have this context, and the creators that I'm talking about have this context. So I do not feel I'm confident in my claim, so I don't feel the need to provide the evidence for this claim when it's not going to be disputed. But obviously we're arguing over the fact that we're not arguing over the fact of what I said is true. We're arguing over whether or not I provided evidence in the video of it being true, which I think is like, well, I mean, if it's true, then why does it matter if I provided evidence in the video for it?
The difference is you're not talking to a room full of creators. You're talking to your large YouTube platform, again, with 32 million people subscribed to it. Every creator knows the context of this company is bad. But I can see as evidence from my chat right now, there's so many people going, what company is this? What company is this? Why have I never heard of this?
Yeah. But but okay. The reason it's bad to not provide evidence and context for, as an example, Tommy saying that I'm a liar or a sexist or whatever, is because he's making a direct claim about me personally that without providing any evidence, and I have a right to be able to dispute that claim, right? If you're making, like, as an example, this is the same thing, maybe this is where our disconnect is, but like as an example, when we talked about the Amesy and Hannah things earlier, or like the Amesy thing as an example, I didn't feel the need to provide evidence when I said the Amesy thing because it was something that I was like, oh, everyone agrees. Amesy's not going to disagree with this because I'm saying, hey, this is like me. I did something wrong. I learned from this, whatever. And so I don't need to provide context because it's not necessary. In this situation, from my perspective, I'm like, oh, well, this evidence is not necessary because of the fact that no one is going to dispute this. This is something that is true and no one will dispute this. Therefore, why do I need to provide evidence when I'm just showing, these pictures on screen or whatever and moving on from it because I'm making a joke about the fact that, hey, don't throw stones in a glass house. Your company did very bad things and you're trying to critique me for my designs.
Your video.
I didn't say what stuff.
Any of what you just said to me just then, you did not say in your video. And you already agreed with me earlier on how the framing from going from the small personal business to a massive corporation frames it
I think
badly.
I think that's a fair critique, Tubbo. I think that your critique of saying that my wording on Tommy's company is a totally fair critique. I'm happy to pin a comment and say that it's not Tommy's company, that it's a company that Tommy works with. I'm completely happy to do that. I agree with you that there probably are a subset of people that could misinterpret it and think that, oh, this is actually like Tommy's the owner of this company and is doing these things. I agree with that. Shouldn't have done that. I did not think of it from that angle. I thought of it from the angle of, hey, this is a big merch company. We're also showing all these other creators. I don't think people are going to assume that this is Tommy's merch company that works with all these different creators that CoffeeZilla made a video on, whatever. And so I understand what you're saying. I agree with that. I can do that. But at the same time, I don't agree that anything that I said was dishonest or definitely not trying to be dishonest, and 100% in my mind everything that I said was factually true based on what I know and based on things that you said as well. But I am, like I said, I'm happy to pin a comment that includes that and anything else. But
I don't think it hurts because you understand how it's framed, and
I see how some people could interpret it like that. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not. I don't think that based on the comments that I've seen and based on the interpretations that I've seen.
You can also remove the incorrect context using the YouTube editor as well.
I don't think it's incorrect context though. I think that I think that unless I can put something, I can put text on screen or something maybe, but I think that the difference is Tommy's merch company versus a merch company Tommy works with. They mean the same things. It's just that one is more clear and the other is not as clear. And I should have been more clear, especially with something that sensitive, obviously.
Yeah, not just sensitive, illegal, man. Like,
yeah, an illegal thing that this
okay,
company
also,
was involved with.
I must admit, I'm not right. Next thing about this company, I wasn't a fan of you using my leaked invoices in your video.
So I didn't. That's from CoffeeZilla's video.
Yeah, I know, and I wasn't
idea.
a fan of CoffeeZilla's video using my leaked invoices.
Oh,
but I'm not exactly gonna message CoffeeZilla and be like.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I literally, it's terrible that it's a coincidence, but like I literally just picked a random part of the video that had any like financial stuff on the screen to show when I was talking about like creators being scammed. So
see, I feel like the fact
I didn't know they were your invoices either.
No,
I'm sitting here like,
but the crazy thing is though, is that the fact that you can now admit, oh, I had no idea those were invoices after you've just previously claimed you have such a good understanding of the situation is crazy. Because
I didn't even read the invoices. I didn't read the invoices at all. I'm showing
then why are you showing evidence you don't understand?
It's not evidence. It's just backdrop. I'm not showing my face. It's backdrop of CoffeeZilla's video. That's it. I'm not using that. It's not meant to provide proof of anything.
Yes, it is.
CoffeeZilla's video is the proof.
You showed this after you were going, merch companies scamming creators that uses child labor, and then you showed these graphics which are related to that situation.
Yeah,
how is that not evidence?
It's graphics from CoffeeZilla's video, and CoffeeZilla's video was evidence that this company did these things. So I didn't know the specific context to what these invoices, who these invoices were for, because I just took a clip from CoffeeZilla's video, which was the evidence to these claims to provide context to. Yeah, and then I also showed some 10 seconds or so of what's it called of CoffeeZilla's video where he talked about it. So like it was just to provide context to, hey, this is from these claims are from CoffeeZilla's video.
I just feel like if you had an in-depth understanding of the situation, as you said, you would have known these were my invoices, as every other creator in this situation knows these are my invoices.
Tubbo, I didn't even know that invoices were on the screen. I grabbed a financial clip from a 20-minute long video that looked good for a backdrop because I'm not showing my face. That's literally it. It wasn't meant to be evidence in any way.
Do you not think it's your responsibility to pay very close attention to what you put in your video when you edited it yourself?
But what's the negative of showing that? Like what is that? How is that? I don't understand. Other than that,
you're using invoices that I paid, which are of massive amounts of money, okay? And you're presenting them in a way which is like, they scammed a bunch of creators out of a bunch of money, and then you're showing my invoices with massive amount of money that the viewer is going to assume was scammed from creators when it was just invoices I paid.
No, I guess I'll give more context. First of all, the reason CoffeeZilla showed those in his video, as far as I know, is because he was providing context that this company had a spending problem, right? That's why, as far as I know, that's what he was showing. He was showing, hey, this company had a spending problem. They were going around and throwing money around and spending money on this and that, and they ran out of money, essentially. And so that's the context of why they were showing them. And I was just going for the exact same thing. I'm just, hey, this is some context from CoffeeZilla's video that is, that is visually pleasing that I'm putting in this instance. It wasn't meant as evidence because the evidence is CoffeeZilla's video, which I mention obviously and say CoffeeZilla proved this in a video. So I obviously I'm sorry if you didn't want the invoices out there. I had no idea because they were already in CoffeeZilla's video. I didn't know.
No, of course. Exactly. That is my point. You didn't know, but yet you're still speaking about this and putting this on your YouTube channel with 32 million people. And you just said yourself you didn't know. So how much more about this situation do you not know? That's my point. That's my point.
That's a very like open like what do you not know?
No,
I don't know
you're focusing on what I'm saying and you're not hearing me, man.
No, but Tubbo, I think that the disconnect on this is that you think that the invoices shown are important to the point I was making or at all involved with them. It wasn't. It's literally
but it's
that
about
I could have replaced that with any other clip
about.
from his video.
It's about the situation you are talking about. If all of your knowledge of the situation comes from the CoffeeZilla video, I don't think you should have jabbed at Tom about it because you don't know what's going on.
No, not all my knowledge comes from the CoffeeZilla video, but the CoffeeZilla video does prove that that company scammed creators, scammed fans, and had a lot of other illicit things going on. And those are the claims that while I am showing those clips from CoffeeZilla's video, those are the claims that I make. Those are, in my mind, again, something that people can go and watch that video themselves very easily and see all the context to. And so even though it's not the proof, it's not the direct proof, it is the direct proof. It's, hey, this video is, if you want to go get proof, I don't need to provide my own personal context. Here's a video that's very public that proves these things that I'm saying, you know, like it's not, I'm not trying to like, I didn't mean the invoices as like, hey, the invoices are evidence that this happened. It was like, hey, this is a part of evidence that CoffeeZilla used in his video and it's visually good for this part, fits in. So it was, I could have replaced that with anything else from his video pretty much and it would have had the same effect.
But what I don't understand is that if you admit you didn't know these were my invoices and you admit there's stuff about this situation that you don't know about, why would you talk about it when there's stuff that you don't know about it, when that's exactly what you do when you critique other people for talking about situations where they don't have the full picture? Because that is exactly what you've done here. Evidence by you saying you didn't know that these were my invoices when everyone involved in the situation did.
I didn't even read the invoices. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea what the invoices are specifically for. I have no idea. But
yeah,
but how is that in my mind? This is what I'm saying is I feel like that's not a fair critique because we both agree that the company scammed fans. We both agree the company scammed creators. While I'm showing those clips with a video from CoffeeZilla that proved those things that I just said, I am showing those clips while I make those claims. So you agree that the claims I make are true, and you agree that the video I'm using to make those claims as proof is proof of those claims.
But you're demonstrating to me how you don't have a full picture of the situation.
I'm sure I don't have a 100% full picture situation. I'm sure the only people that do probably are you and a couple other very close creators. But I do know, obviously I've interacted a lot with the creators that have worked with this company. I interacted with the people that ran that company. I run a merch company myself, so I obviously do have additional context that the public doesn't have. But I definitely do not have anywhere near as much as you do. And I'm not claiming to. I'm just saying this company has done these things that are very public. And
I know, but can you not see how it's an issue where if you know you don't have the full context and you're painting it in a way, in an accusatory way, as a dig, when you don't know and you haven't shown any proof, right?
Tubbo, I don't agree with you here. I don't think we're going to agree on this because I provided in my mind, I provided the necessary context to the fact that this company scammed creators. This company, scammed fans. This company did a lot of illicit things, and I mentioned the video by name as well. This is not disputed information. This company has used child labor. This is not disputed information. It is a common practice amongst many merch companies, especially that work in particular regions, to use child labor. And this company has been involved in that. And that, in my mind, is completely enough context and makes me comfortable enough and perfectly comfortable to say, hey, this company scams. This company uses child labor. This company scams creators and fans.
But your viewer doesn't have any of that context. Because you didn't say any of what you just said to me in the video.
I feel like I'm lost because I don't think that in a case where something is proven elsewhere and is something that is true and is something that is not going to be disputed, I think it's fine in that case to not provide the evidence in the exact video that you're saying,
Dream,
making the claim.
where is the proof of child labor? Where? Just anywhere? Because I didn't see that in the CoffeeZilla video that you're referencing.
Yeah, the CoffeeZilla video isn't about child labor. Obviously, that's from my own personal experience. And you, again, I don't feel the need to go into more detail, given you have confirmed yourself that this company has used child labor. I'm not, Tubbo, if you'd like to talk more off camera about this another time, I'm happy to. But it's not something that, just like you don't want to talk about certain things, this is about business. This is about like interpersonal relationships, etc. This is about conversations I've had with other creators. So this is something that is not something I'm willing to bring up on live stream, and I did not feel the need to say in my video because it's not a disputed claim. It's a claim that is it's a known thing. It's something that it's known. And also, again, you've said in this live stream that it's happened, but I'm not. I feel like we're getting hung. I feel like honestly, we're both nitpicking, kind of like we're both nitpicking each other almost. I feel like it's valid. It's valid to you being upset that my wording of Tommy's merch company, after having said my merch company, when my merch company meant literally my merch company that I owned, and Tommy's merch company did not mean Tommy's merch company that he owns. That's a completely fair critique. I can make a clarifying comment. That seems fair. Or I can put a clarifying text on the screen or something. That seems completely fair. I don't think that devalues anything that I said, but I do think that the less people that could be confused or misunderstand something that I'm saying, the better. So I'd rather have less people confused than more. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't particularly have anything more to say. Also, I will say, I already said what I said about the altered frames from CoffeeZilla's video. Next up, dude. So, this is also weird. So, I'm not